Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the 212A, the Tier 9 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the eastbourne of Malinovka, and it's under the command of Oxagon of ENJ0Y, and alongside him this time is Vicassus of Triad in the RU251. And yes, it's the last video because it's the end of the weekend for him. Game on! 203mm is the caliber of the howitzer. It's capable of doing 900 alpha, 52mm of pen, and 10.4 meters on the burst radius. As you can see, the Vicassus, I should say, is actually bussing off to try and get to a spotting position. In fact, I think he's going to try and get to the midpoint and spot through the bush and see if he can see the enemy tanks going up the hill, or he's headed off to the ramp. No, he's going for the ramp. Well, this could be interesting because if he gets onto the ramp, then there's a very good chance that he will be able to spot a lot of enemy tanks for us. Okay, he's on the ramp and he's found a number of enemy tanks. First shot on the Wizzy 132 doesn't get us anything. Now, standard reload, 37.39 seconds. This one is 28.35 for Oxagon. Now, it'd be a good idea for him to focus on the tanks that are near to Vicassus, so he gets A, bit of protection, and B, he picks up the spotting assist off these ones. Cobra, taking fire. Rounds out. Well, he dodged that one very well. He moved and turned as he went to avoid getting hit. He probably knew that somebody at the other end was going to be firing an Arty round in there. Arty on the enemy team in this game is an M53, M55. Okay, well, the enemy tanks have now made it up the hill, and it is a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it. Rounds out the Viz 55, just misses him. That was a fraction of a second on that one. If it had connected, it would have connected with the engine deck. And he is picking up stun assist off the Viz anyway, because he did stun him. And look at the number of enemy tanks up here. Masses of them. Now, this is sometimes where it can be actually very useful either to carry the extra HE, but he's using the stun HE because he wants stun assist. Direct hit on the Object 263. And, well, actually, it was the BZ68. No, I'm wrong. The 263 just got stunned. And a bit of splash. Okay, 263 is always a good target because, of course, it's an open top tank destroyer. Line it up. Okay, rounds out. If he backs up, he'll go right into the shell, and he does. 499 from a direct hit. That's a good one. It's not a penetrating shot, but it's as good as you can get. Oh, that BZ68 is almost out, and he's gone. So that's one good move. Now, we can see Vicassus has actually moved over to the huts near our gap area because the Wizzy 132A has decided that he wants to interlope and be on that corner. And now he's found out to his cost that that was a very expensive move. And, oh, Vicassus just got derped by a Hori who was hiding. No, we didn't expect that Hori 3 to be there, and he just got a big derp hit. But the Wizzy 132 did go down. And it's a huge number of enemy tanks, actually, now moving about at the top of the hill because they have managed to get it. But the difference is they can't move down the hill unless, of course, they meet a lot of our guys. Rounds out in the Charfuture. Takes a splash right next door to him for 308. Another good hit. He's only moving about a little bit. The enemy is actually focusing on what's going on this side of the hill. I would expect the enemy Arty to be trying to do the same. Well, the enemy just lost their Viz 55 to our Gorilla 15, and the 263 takes another big hit, 398 this time, and now he's a one-shot. Now, you can take them down, otherwise known as Stalin's Sandal, mainly down to the shape of the vehicle. Supposed to be a relation to the Object 261, that this was the tank destroyer version of the IS-7. Rounds out, the 263 is walking into it, and he's out the game! A lovely kill shot. 1,922 hit points of damage so far. Unfortunately, we did lose our platoon mate in this game. He has gone. Vicassus was... oh, no, he's not. He's hiding. I couldn't see him on the minimap. I thought he'd gone. I didn't check the screen to see that, yes, he is still in the game. He's now moved over to the ramp. So he must have gone up across the lake to get there. And another direct hit up on top of the hill. Now that Hori 3 is being almost as much of a nuisance as the one over on the other side of the battlefield, being penned down by our Leopard prototype A. Okay. The good thing of having such a quick reload for the 203mm howitzer is the amount of damage you can pump out. Okay, almost ready to go. The Wizzy 113 just stopped. I think he's taking aim at some of our guys just the other side of the hill. Oh, we haven't had a spot. Ah, there's the 430. A Hori 3. Which one does he go for? The Hori 3 is moving back quite a bit, but he moves and, oh, well, he changed direction very, very quickly, but we did get some stun assist. Oh, we got a lot of stun assist off that one. So that was a worthwhile shot. It seems to be a very even battle, this one. Vicassus has actually gone back to the ramp. And now he's changing position again, which is very odd. He might get taken out by the CS-59 if he's not careful. Yeah, one of our teammates just got taken out by their FV4005. The Leopard prototype's doing a very, well, it's not a very clever thing to do to get close to the Hori 3. I think he's hoping that he can out DPM them, but he's going to suffer a lot of damage, and it's the end. Oh, well, he got wiped out by the other Hori 3, and so he's out the game. He shouldn't have got so close. The Heshbon is over on the other side of the field there as well. That's one of the ones that I was worried about, as well as the enemy Arty. So we're now 3 tanks down on the enemy. Vicassus has changed position again. He managed to survive the encounter around the lake, or the area around the lake, but he's low on hit points. In fact, it makes him a one-shot for the Hori 3. He's trying to spot them at the moment. Trying to use his camo as a light tank to see where the enemy is. He's found the Hori 3 and he's moving up. Can we get a shot? Not fully dialed in. And he does take a hit. Rounds out. And a splash kill to finish him off. And Vicassus did survive, so he would have got the spotting from that. It looks like it was Gorilla 15 that actually got a very big hit on that Hori 3 as he was moving. And then we've got Oxagon getting the coup de grace. Now we've got a Cobra coming across the field. He's on the water area now. Can we get a shell in? Lining it up. Routes out. Oh, he dies before the shell gets there. Kill shot went to the Gorilla 15 again. So that Gorilla 15's got 2 kills so far. Up on top of the hill, we've got an Object 430. We're not loaded yet, so not a lot we can do. Our guys are holding them up the hill. We've got a Heshbon nearby. And we just lost our Sharpview Shure 4. And again, that's another Arty kill. So the enemy Arty seems to be doing rather well. Well, he's only had 1 kill so far. Okay, object 430. And he dies before our shell reaches him as well. So, yes, we've missed out on a few hit points there. Okay, across the lake, we've got a 268 suddenly turned up. We've managed to recover at least 2 tanks. We're only 1 tank down now on the enemy. And Vicassus is making a quick trip north. That might not be a good idea with the FE4005 there. Okay, this is going to be a really difficult shot. You have to make the red line intersect the target, the CS-59. Actually, Vicassus has managed to make it to the tree line in the middle of the field. And he spotted the Heshbarn. Okay, Oxagon can't ignore this, because this would be a very, very good hit. And he is actually shooting at the Heshbarn as well. Rounds out. This could be a hit. Well, it did hit, and it splashed him. We don't know the exact amount of damage, but he is taking damage whilst he's stunned. Now, can we get a kill shot? No, that one didn't work. He's a 1-shot for Vicassus at the moment. At least I think he is. Okay, rounds out. This should be the kill shot. Oh, it hits the other side of the rock. I had so much hopes for that one to hit the target. Gonna give it another go. It's an awkward position because the rock is high just at the front end of it. Round out. That worked. That was what I was expecting the last time. The shell would just go over the top of the rock, right onto the roof of the Heshbarn, and took him out the game. So now we're even on numbers with 3 minutes left on the clock. Now this is a very difficult shot, the CS-59. And it looks like Vicassus is actually getting hits on that guy, but we lose our Gorilla 15 to their Arty. Okay, 268. Can we get a shot on this guy? Rounds out. Looks good. Direct hit, 420. Unfortunately, he's turning to face Vicassus. And we lose the Heshbarn to the Wizzy 113 GFT. We do have an E4 down this end of the map, and Vicassus has decided to come back. We're firing behind the rock. Okay, we're right in the corner. We can't move any further back. We do have the bushes in our favour. And there's the 2-minute warning. The CS-59 makes a big mistake. And he gets spotted and taken out by the E4. So we're only 1 tank down at the moment. We really need Vicassus to spot for us and give the E4 something to see. At the moment, I expect that Wizzy 113 is moving up. Now, he could go behind some of the rocks, actually. That would probably be the best place to go. Rather than actually going through the tree line, if he's behind a rock, he can spot. And he's found the 113. Rounds out. And it's a kill. So 4 kills now for Oxagon in this game. There's a Hori 3 somewhere. That was the one who retreated. Badly damaged. We're down into the last minute. And Vicassus is actually now moving into enemy territory, looking for the Hori 3 and the Object 268. But I think it might be too late for us to get both of them. And it's only really now to try and find out where some of the enemy are before the time clicks out. It's probably going to be a draw. I don't think they're going to get to Oxagon in time to try and take him out. So I think unless the enemy Arty works out where he is and He's had plenty of time to do that. We found the M53, rounds out straight away. And we get a bit of splash. Vicassus is going in for the kill. He gets one in. Can he get a reload? Should be able to get the kill. And he does. But we're down to the last 10 seconds. And I think this one's going to end up being a draw. And they started capping. How sweet. Here's the end of battle results. And that finally was an ace tanker game for Oxagon of ENJ0Y in the 212A. Yes, he waited all night, getting several games over the weekend where he got first-class tankers, but finally he got an ace tanker in this one. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4 exactly. A bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 18. And he got a Gauss medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. His win 8 was 6,446, which is super unicum and a lot more. Now, the enemy did get that kill shot on the T110E4, who was nearby us towards the end of the game. So I think the Hori 3 was actually quite close to us at the end of the game, but he never got spotted, and he never spotted Oxagon, despite the fact that we did fire at the enemy Arty. So let's have a look at the team score. Well, highest damage in the game went to Oxagon for 4,528, but it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool, so he didn't pick up a high caliber off this one. Second highest damage went to the Hori 3 that lived with 4,076, and the third highest damage in this game went to the M53, M55 on the enemy team, who did get a Confederate and 3,391 hit points of damage. So he was definitely hitting as many of our team as he could, and picked up the consolation prize. We can see that Vicassus actually did 1,725 hit points of damage. Well, there were 5 members of the enemy team who actually scored more damage than he did, and 5 on his own team as well, which meant that he was actually in 11th place when it came to damage in this game. But not a bad game there for Oxagon, getting top damage. When it came to kills, he got top on that too. 4 kills went to Oxagon. 2 kills went to the Gorilla 15 and Vicassus on his team. And on the enemy team, their Hori 3, their M53, M55, the CS59, and the Wizzy 113 GFT all got 2 kills. When it came to base XP, it's Vicassus who did the best. Yes, 793, his base XP. So he did do very well indeed. And of course, he got a patrol duty out of that game as well. We look at his stats, we can see he did 5,958 hit points of spotting assist in that game, and that's why he deserved the patrol duty, and of course getting a higher base XP at the end of the day. And it's unfortunate that it displaces Oxagon, who was also tier 9 in a tier 10 game, and he got 739, so he wasn't far off, but he is in second place on base XP. And the third place, well, that was the CS59 on the enemy team with 664. He fired 24 rounds, so it took 24 rounds of ammunition, and he still had 6 rounds left at the end of the game. 24 rounds to actually get an ace tanker out of this one, even though it was a draw. 9 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, and 19 splash. Now, can we guess which one he actually penetrated in this game? Well, we'll have to look at the scores. It wasn't the M53, M55, surprisingly. Was it the Char? No, it wasn't the Char. There you are. That's the penetrating shot. He hit the Heshbon right on the roof, and it went right through. So 662 hit points from a direct hit on the Heshbon. In fact, actually, he did hit him twice, I think. First time he splashed him. The second time he got the direct hit that went through. So going back to details, he got 19 splashes as well. 4,528, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 4. And did 2,309 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. I don't think he got the Confederate in this game. The M53 and M55 on the enemy team hit 8 and 2. So he's got 6 difference there. So there must be a reason. I think there is a reason why he didn't get, because he should have had a Confederate 10 and 4. That's a 6 difference as well. But on this occasion, he doesn't get it. He only gets the Gauss medal instead. So, 2,309 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. So, combined damage on this one was 6 6,800 hit points in total. He actually suffered a loss on credits on this one. So much ammunition expended. He did actually get the Courageous Resistance Award because it was a draw. But yes, having to pay the consumables actually cost him. And he ended up with a loss of 1,295 credits. But he did pick up positive on XP. Got 1,765 to take away. So at last he got an ace tanker out of the weekend. But he did send us in another replay. So let's have a quick look at that one. The next replay is on the south spawn of Prokhorovka, and yes, Oxagon's still in platoon with the Cassus. Game on. Well, some people say that it's actually quite easy to move back and just sit behind the bushes right at the start of this game, fire one shot at the enemy when they come into sight and then change position either way towards the railway line or towards the west as your preference goes. In fact, you can sit all the way along the back of the map shooting from behind the bushes, and the enemy will then try to work out which bush you're behind because it's very difficult to if you keep moving. Okay, enemy spoon spotted. A Sharp U-4 sitting behind the spotting bush, lining up a shot, rounds out, and direct hit. Oh, that's a penetrating shot. 850 hit points, low roll penetration, but it's a lovely start to the game. And I'm sure that Vicassus was the one who benefited from that one, because I think he saw that. And yeah, he just say affirmative. So I think he was quite happy that he picked up a load of spotting assists right at the start of the game. And in fact, he's popped forward again because there are a couple of enemy tanks just over the ridge line. We saw a VX VZ55. We've now seen an E4. I think there's also another one in there. And that's a direct hit on the E4. Yeah, I think the enemy's got a Cobra just across the center line. Now, one of the things we have been noticing, apart from the last replay, of course, that many of the battles have been very, very short and they've been over very quickly. So maybe the matchmaker is actually finally getting it right at last. And that's why we had that very difficult battle in the last one. There's the Cobra. Okay, these guys are close together. They make a more juicy target, even though they're heavies. Lined up, rounds out, and... oh! Well, RNG said no. That's for certain. Those targets definitely make better targets to shoot at, mainly down to the fact, obviously, that they can be seen by our teammates. In fact, we've got 3 tanks up on the hill who can see that Viz-55 at the moment. So if we can put a shell in that direction and stun him, we might be able to get a shot. He's certainly looking up in that direction himself. Rounds out. Yep, that hurt. 354. Well, we just heard a shell from the enemy Arty firing at the hill. And so now we do need to change position. The enemy Arty in this game is a GW Tiger. The fact that we heard that shell as well meant obviously that it travelled over the spot where we were looking at, which was the Viz-55 at that moment, which kind of indicates the GW might be over on the northwest corner. Oh, and it's another direct hit! The AMX 1390 was circling in the bowl, and he just took a direct hit. And again, I think Vicassus got that. Vicassus, I should say. I keep saying his name wrong. Vicassus is the beneficiary, and he did lose a lot of hit points. Nice bit of spotting there by Vicassus. Now, can we get this Viz-55? Rounds out. He changes course, and RNG says no again with a short landing. Now, the arc on the 2128 is very, very narrow, actually. It's only 8 degrees either side of the center line. 8 degrees overall, but 4 degrees either side of the center line. So you really get the compensation that it dials in fairly quickly on the enemy. But if you move outside the arc, it blooms very, very quickly indeed. And that Viz-55 certainly moved back after that shot. Oh, and the MX-1390's decided to make a quick run into our territory, but it didn't work out well for him because the TVP T5051 slotted him. Okay, Viz 55 came up to the center line rock, and he's suffering as well. He's getting hit from the hill and from the west side. Okay, we're loaded. Rounds out straight away. Yep, we're looking at the center line, and I can still hear enemy Arty shells going from the west side of the map all the way over the top where we're looking and hitting our tanks up on the hill. So we can work out and judge exactly where the enemy Arty is, because he must be on the west side of the map in order for the shell to arc over the top of us. There's the Fizz 55. Rounds out. Looks good. And this time it goes long. So we've had 2 short shells, and now we've got 1 long one. RNG is not being kind in this battle. And Vicassus is doing a great job because he really is motoring around the center line, trying to spot the enemy tanks for us, keep them in, keep them lit, which is what we wanted from a scout. Okay, Sharp Future 4. He's stationary, and he's on the move now. Rounds out. Could be a kill. Oh. Well, the TVP said, no, I'm having that kill, and he got it. Yep, need to change position, just in case the enemy RT wonders why these tanks keep getting hit in the center. And we're stronger on this side of the map as well, which makes good sense. And the enemy is pushing on the hill now, so it looks like we're going to lose the hill. And our guys are pulling back from the hill as well. They realize that they just don't have the strength up there. Let's hope it doesn't end with a classic game where the hill falls, then the railway line falls, and then they compress us into this corner. E4 rounds out. And that was a direct hit. Okay, Cobra on the center. Yes, you can hear those shells going over the top. In fact, now they're actually going over the top of us and hitting the tanks next to the railway line. So I think you can adjust the angle to maybe 1 or 2 squares. The enemy Arty is probably an A1 or A2. I think it's almost a certainty for the angle of the shells to be going directly over the top. You can hear that whistle as the shell goes by. All these little clues can actually tell you where the enemy RT is, even if you can't see the tracer. And of course, Oxagon could go to battle assistant view if he wanted to and get a confirmation of where the enemy RT is firing. But we'll probably hear the tracer any second as it goes over the top. Well, we just lost the Sharp Future 4 up on the hill. And we can see that our teammate on the near the railway lines decided he's had enough of there, and he's moving over to the west side of the map. So it is going to end in a game where we get compressed on the west side of the map. And usually those don't end well for the defending team because they get taken out one by one. Fired around at the Cobra, and no, nothing from it. Sometimes it is actually beneficial to knock some of these trees over so that they're actually facing horizontally rather than vertically on the map. So you actually get a bit of cover. You can move from cover to cover. The Waffenträger auf E100 has been spotted and slotted. That's a penetrating shot. 920. It must have gone through the gun shield. The one weak spot on a Waffenträger auf E100 is the gun shield, which is very thin. The rest of the vehicle is basically a heavy tank, the E100 heavy tank, but when you can actually hit the gun shield, you definitely get a a very good roll. Rounds out. Direct hit on the Viz 55, who just wasn't stopping. And now we got some severe problems. Where do we go? Except further up the west side of the map, because the enemy is now pushing us and squeezing us. And he needs to remain behind a couple of bushes, because if he gets spotted, he will be finished off very quickly. The Viz 55's the closest, but it's a difficult shot because there's a ridge line there. You can't really see it except for the fact that the red line extends from the woods. Up ahead, we've got the Strib 1030. Again, we're still dialing in. He's moving that wreck. He just pushed the wreck to one side. He's there. Rounds out. And that's a kill. Another penetrating shot. 922 from that one. So that's 2 kills now to Oxagon, and both of them been penetrating shots. But Vicasus is having to pull back. I guess he's feeling the pressure as well. He's trying to keep these guys lit. Still got plenty of ammo. We're loading the Extreme HE for the Heshbon. We have a shot. Rounds out. Oh, and it goes long. RNG says no again. We're 4 tanks down now. Let's see what we can do with this one. It probably won't kill him, but it may bad. Oh! RNG, what are you doing to us? RNG really is being unfair. That shell was well short of its aim point. And yes, it did go with the ridgeline, but the fact of the matter is we've had RNG all over the place on this game. It's landed short, it's gone long. In fact, it's done a bit of everything, really. It's not being very helpful. And again, we missed the Centurion. Well, it's not a Centurion, actually. It's a Chieftain, isn't it? It's a FP4201. That's a Centurion. Well, at least the Tortoise managed to get that guy. Unfortunately, the Tortoise just got found out by the Chieftain, and now we're just down to 3 left. Again, they're using that ridgeline against us. Centurion moving up to the same position where the Chieftain was. He's trying to use that tree line to get forward. The Leopards... Oh, he's holding back. Rounds out. Very close. But now the Leopards, the Centurions decided to use that. And now he's got into the dip. He's getting very, very close. We're likely to get spotted any second. There he is. And we've been spotted. Yes. And this was inevitable. We've been hit by the Chieftain. And now Arty's firing. And we've short shots. And the GW did get us in the end. It looks like he changed position during the game. And he moved over to the railway line. And now they're capping. Vicasus is the last one left alive. He's headed north. I think he's going after the enemy Arty. Unfortunately, we're not following him, but it would be nice if we were. I guess we can actually try and speed up with him. I think he's about to see the GW Tiger. Yep, there he is. He's found him. But he hasn't turned round. Or has he? Yes, he has turned round. He's going back for him. It's going to be over one way or the other. And before he can get the kill shot, he's taken out by the Centurion. And that's the end of the game. Well, despite this being a loss, it was a second-class tank for Oxagon of ENJ0Y in the 212A. He managed to get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10. He got another Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points to his own vehicle. And this time round, he did get a Confederate as well, for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate from this one, 6,057, which is Super Unicum standard and more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, funnily enough, he did get the highest damage in the game again. 5,087 hit points this time. Second highest damage being the Cobra on the enemy team, who managed to get 11 Slaves medal and 4,548. And in third place, it's the Waffenträger of E100, who actually managed to get a tank sniper in that game and 4,245 hit points of damage. But he got wiped out by Oxagon with one clean artillery shot. The fourth place in this game turned out to be the Chieftain, T95 FP4201. He picked up a Confederate and 3,793 hit points. When it came to kills, it was the enemy team came out on top. The Cobra and the Heshbon on the enemy team both managed to get 3 kills. 2 kills went to Oxagon, the TVP T5051, the Standard Bead, the Tortoise, and on the enemy team, their Chieftain, their Centurion Action 10, and their GW Tiger. And when it came to base XP, it's the Cobra who came out on top, 1,254. The Centurion Action 10 managed 1,208. And the Chieftain managed 1,070. So those were the only 3 who managed to get over 1,000 base, with Oxagon getting 546. And look at this, Vicassus, 854. So he did tremendously well because he actually came 5th on base XP in that game, just beating their GW Tiger. Oxagon fired 20 rounds in the game, a large ammunition expenditure again, but he got 8 direct hits and 3 penetrating shots, 10 splash. Damage of 5,087, of which 4,755 were at more than 300 meters. 1 hit received, it was a penetrating shot, and 1 hit by way of splash damage. It was the enemy GW, I think, that managed to get the kill on him in the end. And 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were killed, 6 stuns caused, no stun assist at all, which is probably the reason why it's only a second-class tanker. He ended up with a loss of 25,297 credits for the game and 1,297 XP earned, but sadly it was a loss. I'm afraid his team was not up to holding that one together. Vicassus was doing a great job. If we look at the scores for himself, on his results rather, he got a Patrol GT, 2,682 XP, win 8 rather, and his spotting was 11,385. So well done, because that's a huge score considering he was moving about. He wasn't staying static all the time. He was moving about, spotting the enemy, allowing his teammates to get good damage. So well done to Vicassus. Sad about the defeat, but it was a good game nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.